Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Professor's Picks alongside Professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden. Happy Friday.
You, how's everybody? You get we had snow last night.
So did we. It's all gone now, but
Yeah, it's me too.
sun came out today. It's a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. I think it's like 40.
Yeah, same
So it
thing.
needs to melt it all away.
Yeah, like it never happened, right?
Yeah, like it never happened till this weekend because we're supposed to get a mix of sleet and freezing rain tomorrow and then snow on Sunday. So it's gonna be a messy weekend.
Jim is my weatherman. He says we're gonna get some snow.
Oh, okay. See that? Let's see how right he is. We'll have to reconnect on that next week to find out
There
if
you
his forecast was accurate.
go. There we go. Right, exactly. So not a momentous week, but we got some stuff to talk about.
Okay, cool.
We got some good cheap shit this week. So
Oh, well, that's people always like that, right?
people love the cheap shit. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna brag. It's gonna be Backwoods. This is out in 3 weeks, I guess it is,
Pretty nice
February
looking
7th.
cover. I like the
Dream,
cover.
New Dream Theater, Parasomnia. I'm gonna be packing art books. We're still waiting on CDs and box sets, but we got to get ahead of it. So try and get it out to everybody in time for Street Date. So yeah, so I have it and you don't. So tough,
Not yet.
tough shit.
Hopefully soon.
There you go.
Roy, are you watching?
That's right.
Get that into my hands soon, my friend.
That's right. All right.
I'm
All
getting
right.
it regardless. So if they don't send it to me, I'm going to wait till release day and buy it. So, whatever, but we'll see. I'd like to have it beforehand, but
Sure.
it's out of my control usually.
I haven't heard it, so just I got boxes of it. I haven't heard it.
And I was just saying, I really like the cover art. I think it looks
Yeah,
good.
it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So, all right, so let's start with some pre-orders. Got two orders for pre-order, two titles for pre-order, both from Inside Out. This is a band from North Carolina, sometime in February, where Mountains Hide. It's coming out on CD, and it's coming out. I think this one is on magenta vinyl. I should have written that down in my notes, and I didn't, but I'll come back with that. That's March 21st. Instrumental, kind of genty band from North Carolina. Had you ever? I'd never heard of these guys. Had you ever heard of them?
No, at first, because I know they have a couple of bands that they've recently signed that they're doing something similar, but
Yeah,
this is not the one I was thinking of. So I'm not sure I like the name of the band, but
it's kind of an odd name for a band.
yeah, they've just launched the lead single called Palantir, and I guess it's a video. I'll actually be doing, for those interested, I'll be doing a short on this probably tomorrow, and I'll put the link to the video so people can check it out and in
Oh,
anticipation of the release date. So.
yeah. It's. I'm trying to think who they kind of remind me a little bit based on what I've heard on like Scale the Summit, a little bit like that. Maybe a touch of these guys, Canvas Solaris. I want to hear the whole thing. I have it here. I've got to listen to it. So so the vinyl is a color that I don't know what it is. It's called Flume, Flume. I have no idea what flume means. I don't know, but that's the color. So it's CD and Flume vinyl. Next thing we got this one, Tiki Tiktalika.
Oh, that's
That's a Pangea.
Charlie's new record. Yeah, yeah.
So this is Charlie Griffith from guitarist from Haken, and he's got all kinds of guests on here. He's got a lot of vocalists on here, and I should have been ahead of the curve here. Who's he got singing on here? Well, he's got Connor Green on bass from Haken. He's got Tommy Rogers from Between the Buried and Me, Daniel DeJong from Textures, Vladimir Lalick, he's a great singer from Organized Chaos, and it says Roddy Walker from Protest the Hero. So,
Name I haven't heard. They just protest the hero. Wow.
yeah, a name.
Cover's interesting. It looks like a thrash album, right? So yeah, I wonder if the music is going to follow suit.
I heard a little bit. It's kind of heavy, you know.
Yeah.
But it's funny because at first I thought that was like an Ed Repka cover, but it's not Ed Repka. You know, Ed Repka was,
It's in that style for sure.
yeah,
It looks like
definitely
it could be a creator cover, or
right.
yeah.
Yeah, what I heard was pretty heavy, kind of death growls and stuff. So those are the two. Oh, what color? This one is in, I believe, magenta vinyl. So we've got, yeah, that one's magenta. So we've got two pre-orders, and then I'm going to knock out the restocks. All good titles. People have been bugging the shit out of me. When are you getting it back? When are you getting it back? Got the new Kenso, an old warrior shook the sun. You got yours?
Yeah, where is it? Oh, here it is.
Yep. We got back in Oddleaf when Ideal and Denial collide. French symphonic prog, great album. So this is my third shipment from them already.
Wow, look,
Yeah, it just keeps selling.
popular.
PTF, ambiguous fragile sign, Japanese instrumental symphonic prog. You like violin? This is all violin.
One of
Uh,
Eric Porter's favorites.
oh, Eric, yeah, it made Eric's, yeah, made his list, and 25-minute tune on there. Really, very, very good. What else? That I think maybe. Oh, here, no, I haven't. Okay. Miroslav Vitas, Purple. That showed up again. And something I hadn't had for a little while. We got it back in. This is great. Weather Report, live in Berlin, 1971. So I kind of forgot to put it in last week. I forgot to mention it last week when we were doing all the Polish stuff. So I mentioned it.
Did you sell out of that Kazumi Watanabe Infinite?
I don't know. I could tell you in 2 seconds. 1 second. You like that one, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. That yeah, I sold out of it. Actually sold out of it just before the end of the year. Um that's a it's tough to find an original copy of that with the toilet cover. You know. It's funny that they use that for the
Yeah,
CD.
terrible cover, but yeah,
Yeah,
album's great.
they reissued it, but yeah, he's playing a little more straight ahead, a little bit more. That's like a jazz, to me that was a little more of like an electric jazz album. You know what I mean? I mean, it
Yeah,
touches on jazz rock, but
it's like the early George Benson CTI stuff
yeah,
or very, very early Pat Metheny stuff, but it's really good. I
yeah,
mean, burning on there. It's just not, what you normally hear from him, but I think it's great.
yeah, yeah. So, uh, we have more copies on order. All that Japanese stuff, it just keeps selling. You know what we sold out of again? The what's his name? Straight East guy. Uh, not Stelly Cal, the other guy. Oh my God, the trumpeter.
Oh,
Uh,
Charles Tolliver.
yeah, oh my God,
Oh, you sold out of everything on that? Yeah.
we can't keep it in stock. The vinyl and the CD, we just keep selling out of it. I keep ordering it. So, for a prog rock company, when I bring in a jazz title, like a straight jazz title, that's like an extravagance. That's like
I
personal.
remember when you first brought that in,
Yeah,
you talked about it on the show and you mentioned I brought this in. It's not something I normally sell or would talk about on the professor's picks, but we're going to give it a shot, see if people like it. I think it's great. And now here we are a couple months later and
so what we're finding out is that people who watch the show, who watch the channel, they like jazz,
yeah,
for the right titles, and the Charles Tolliver piece. That's
it's an amazing set. Yeah.
so.
It's so good. For those of you who have not jumped on this yet, when Ken gets it back in stock,
Yeah,
whether
I'll have
you're into CD or vinyl, either way, I mean, this is amazing stuff.
yeah,
Really, really, really good.
I'll have more copies next week, and yeah. So what my feeling is that as interesting titles pop up um, of a similar nature, I'm gonna bring them in small quantities, and we'll see how they go. But so far, like all the East Wind Japanese jazz, all that stuff flying out of here.
I think people who watch this channel really like archival stuff of that nature from that time period. So like, late 60s, early 70s to like the early 80s.
Yeah,
That's the wheelhouse. So whether it's studio records that maybe, they haven't seen on disc in a while or at all, or reissues or cool live things like that, it's like a no-brainer, right?
yeah. I have some stuff on order that I find interesting. Hey, like for example, that Shelly Man. Did you listen to that Shelly Man
Oh
yet?
yeah, yeah, it's
That was
very
a
good.
nice album, right? And
Yeah.
Mike Longo. I mean, these are these albums that kind of fall through the cracks. and are they jazz rock? A little bit, are they jazz? Yeah, it's sort of in that gray area. And you know me, I like the gray area. And it's there's a place for it here.
Yeah.
There's a place for it on this channel. So, and I'm gonna bug the shit out of you for us to do an ECM primer.
Okay, I'm totally into it.
We'll do it.
We just need to frame it out, but I'm totally into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We'll do something cool. It'll be good.
God, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, but there's so much stuff on that label that will appeal to our viewers, I
Yeah.
think. So, a lot of great stuff. All right, let's keep going. So now we'll go hit the new titles. Steve Hackett, Live Magic at Trading Boundaries. So every year, Steve does a special show at this place, Trading Boundaries. It's the full band. It's almost all instrumental, focusing on his acoustic work, but it's full band. So I was actually listening to it before. Pretty nice. I mean, my favorite guitar player. So,
Has anybody in Prague released more live albums in the last decade than Steve Hackett?
no, no. Neil Morse is right behind him.
Probably, yeah. But I mean, I'm not knocking it because I love
Yeah,
him. But it's just
yeah.
every time you turn around, he's got
Hey,
another live album. It's like studio
that's
album, live album, studio. He's doing the Joe Bonamassa thing. Studio album, live album, studio album, live album. It's
that's
like
that's
every
the
other music.
that's the model, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So as long as they, hey, look, the guy could still play, and as long as they keep mixing up the sets and make it interesting,
Well, that's the thing. He's not releasing the same live album over and over and over
yeah,
again. So why not get it? If you're a big fan and maybe you don't get to go out and see him on the road all the time, well, you know what? You can buy one of his live albums, and every other year you get a different one with the set that he's currently playing, and you can experience that in, a different way.
they're all
I
good.
get it.
It's just that there are a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
them. All right, actually, there's a bunch of live ones this week. So Hawkwind, live at the Royal Albert Hall,
Mm.
3 CD box set. And you take it off, Jim? I'll see it. This is a 3 CD box set. Arthur Brown guests on here. He does some poetry, and I imagine he does some singing. I haven't heard it yet, but
This is a new show, or is this an archival thing?
no, it's from 2023.
Wow. He's just thinking Hawkwind playing at the Royal Albert Hall in 2023. That's
Yeah, and
yeah.
I looked at the set. So they're doing stuff from Levitation, so
Anthony, did you hear that?
yeah, you know, it's a huge catalog to dip into.
Yeah, it certainly
So
is.
there's no reason why you can't mix it up.
Yeah. Would they play for like 5 hours that night? Probably could have.
Must be it's a 3 CD set. I mean, hey,
Oh, I gotta love Hawkwind now.
eh, I think honestly, in the prog world, the most underrated band ever.
I wouldn't argue
You,
that. The most
you know,
underrated band that's been around for so long with such a big catalog that never quite made it like some of their contemporaries, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they could play the Royal.
Haven't really released a lot of shitty albums. In fact,
No,
you could probably make the argument that they really have any complete stinkers? I don't think so.
no.
Not that I've heard.
And even when they sort of changed direction a little bit, like in the 80s or so, like Levitation, which as I haven't listened to in a while, but as I remember, besides Ginger Baker being on there, I remember it being a little bit heavier.
A little
And
metallic, yeah.
Choose Your Masks also again, they got a little heavier, but they were still a space rock band, and always, always good, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
It always, no matter what they do, it always sounds like Hawkwind.
yeah,
I think, for me, the only period that kind of lost me a little is like the Hawk Lords period, where
yeah,
Rod Calvert was really kind of taking over the sound. They were losing a little of the space rock stuff, and they were getting that kind of like punk new wave thing going on,
yeah.
which was, to me, I wasn't crazy about that, but I know a lot of people love that period, so it's not like it's stinker stuff. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Just
But everything
before,
else,
just before that, like Quark, Strangeness and Charm, like I love that record.
that's a really good one too.
You
And
know,
that's a little bit of a different direction from the
yeah.
first handful that came before
They
it.
were
Yeah.
getting a little. That was to me as our again. I haven't listened to some of these records for so long. That was more of like a prog rock record, in that direction, as opposed to the early '70s space rock. And really, if you think about it, they were like the true originators. Them and Pink Floyd were like the true originators of what we would call space rock. Del Detmar with the space, with the synthesizers and getting all that weird celestial shit, and that eventually having Tim Blake in there for 5 minutes, and yeah, it was
Good
good
band.
band,
Yeah.
good band. So next, Symphonic Prague, Anthony Kalugan, Constellations. There wasn't a lot of information about this. He is the guy behind Carfagan, and I think I don't know if this is just a solo album, but the bio on this release was certainly lacking. So if you if you like Carfagan, and hopefully you do, because the next release is Carfagan. uh,
Good cover. Look at that.
yeah, he usually does nice artwork on his releases. This one is called Mysterious Forest: The Working Tapes. So it's, I think, unreleased tracks and demo material from, I guess it was Mysterious Forest when it was one of the earlier albums. But again, it's like, he's Ukrainian, very symphonic, very keyboard driven, typically female vocalist, full band, a lot of people playing with him. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe like kind of like Ukraine's answer to Glass Hammer. Good stuff. The last regular CD, when I say regular, meaning new release, new Magnum, live at KK's Steel Mill, 2 CD set. Uh, for me, they're kind of like, they're not my thing, but I know they're very popular. You're a big fan, right?
Yeah, I love them. Yeah.
Hard. I call it hard rock. I think not heavy enough to call it like metal.
A lot of it's not even hard rock, but it's like melodic rock.
AOR,
AOR melodic rock with little touches of hard rock and little touches of
prog.
prog in spots. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So yeah,
great band. Very consistent.
and very
Great
popular.
vocals. Yeah.
All right, I just got some vinyl here to talk about. Then we'll get to the cheap shit, which is a little more interesting this week. So I got a good deal on Nidralog, Lady Lake. This is on colored vinyl. This is the second album from the British band, the Goldring Brothers. And yeah, I'm a schmuck for a lot of reasons, and I'm sure anybody could tell you why I am. But one reason is I used to have an original copy of this, and I sold it many years ago. I still have In Spite of Harry's Toenail with the textured cover and all. I don't know why I sold Lady Lake. Lady Lake was the better album.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so go figure. But you get a little Jethro Tull, a little Gentle Giant in there,
Yeah.
uh, some folk, a little quirky stuff, and good, very good album. So this is an official reissue. I forget what color vinyl, but it's color vinyl. We got Steve Hackett. We got two colors. We got black and we have lilac. Pick and choose. Last vinyl for the week. And this is a great album. The third album from Placebo. Are you familiar with Placebo, Pete?
Heard of it? I don't think I've ever listened to it.
Band that you would kill for. So Placebo was a British band, sorry. They were a Belgian band, led by keyboard player Mark Moulin, and Philip Catherine was in there for a while. The lineup changed over the while. Jazz rock, very important band. Original copies of their three albums, $1,000 on up. You never see them. When I was in Belgium, in there's a store called Veal and Geeks, I think it was called. Strange name for a store. I think they had a copy sitting on the wall of one of the Placebo albums, but you just don't see them. And great jazz rock, big band arrangements, horns, just phenomenal playing. And a lot of that stuff got sampled over the years. And Moulin became a very popular producer. He passed away, I think, a few years ago. But those three albums, this one was on Harvest. The first two were on Columbia, and impossible to find. But here's a black vinyl copy. Great record. Okay, now we're hitting the cheap shit. So everything here is like $8 and less. So Anthrax for All Kings. I don't know it. You know it?
Good album. Yeah. Good, more later album from them. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, this one we had sold out of, got it back. Radio broadcast, double CD, Jeff Beck, Carlos Santana, and Steve Lukather. I think you got that, right?
I have it. Yep, it's good. First disc is mainly the Jeff Beck group at the time, and which is from the tour for the Flash album. So it's got Jimmy Hall and I think Nile Rodgers playing with him,
Mhm.
and
Right.
then Lukather comes out and jams a little bit with them, and then the second disc is all the Santana band, and then at the end they all three of them come out and jam together. It's fun. It's good stuff. That was circulating on video for many years, and now this is the first time I think the audio stuff is
Yeah, I think we have. I think
unofficially being released. But yeah,
right. We like to call the gray area. So
yeah, it's good though.
like I think selling this for like $8 or something like that, $7, $8. Next one, Dunyan, Swedish band Dunyan, great band, psychedelic band. This one is called Alice Sack. Um, I I was shocked one night many years ago watching Conan O'Brien late night when he was on after the Tonight Show before he moved over to Fox, and who was his musical guest was Dunyan, and who's playing guitar? Raina Fisk from Lamberg, because
Wow,
Raina is the guitarist in Dunyan. But it blew my mind. I mean,
what? How the hell did they ever wind up on that show?
that they were on. There was a little buzz on them for a period of time, and very good Swedish psychedelic, but not like 20-minute jams. But they're kind of short songs, psychedelic tinge. Raina plays some great guitar on these albums, maybe a little bit of a pop element, but really good.
Huh.
Good band, and I think Dunyan is still around. Pretty sure they're still kicking. But yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm watching Conan O'Brien at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, holy shit, that's
Something does not compute on this.
yeah, it was crazy. All right, this is a big deal. For $8, Genesis radio broadcast, Nebworth,
So,
1978, double CD for $8. Even with the ugly cover, I don't charge you more for the ugly cover. I charge you the same. So
that is pretty bad.
that's pretty bad, right? So they spared all expense for that cover.
I see.
Couldn't even squeeze Chester and Daryl in there, right? Excuse me. All right, next. Another cheapie. This we were selling this for $18, and then I got a stash of these, and we knocked the price way down. Lacuna Coil, Live from the Apocalypse. This is a CD DVD. So this is the band performing live after while COVID was on, and they're playing without an audience. So they're
Oh, wow.
doing their stage show to an empty. They were not the only ones who did that. So yeah. So there you go. 1 sec. The wife is texting me. And okay, I'm back. So next thing we got another cheapie. David Longdon, the late David Longdon, Door One solo album. Clearing these out. Couple of cheap Pat Morazes. I think they're $6 each. Again, I'm doing this off the top of my head. I could be off on the prices, but not much. Patrick Moraz, self-titled, and Patrick Moraz and Syrinx. This one was called Coexistence. Syrinx, he was if I remember, Dutch or Belgian, Indian flute player. He played flute or some reeds. So it's the two of them. Then we get into the avant-garde here. These guys are Norwegian, I believe. Super Silent. This is Super Silent 14. It's an avant-garde jazz trio. When I say jazz, I'm kind of stretching the description because it's avant-garde. It's kind of out there. It's very difficult to describe it, but it's with Stali Storloken from Elephant Nine. He's he's 1/3 of the trio. Another cheapie, Steve Vai, The Story of Light.
That's a pretty good album.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
vocals
it.
on it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of vocals on it, but good playing. It's weird, but it's good. It's
Okay,
typical weirdness from Vi around that time period. I like
okay,
it. Great playing.
all right. And then another nice one. That again, this was a situation where we were selling this for $18, and I ordered Weather Report live, I think from Tokyo or something, 83, and they misshipped me. They shipped me live in Austria at 71. I got to tell you, if I had a choice, I'd much rather have this 71 weather report than 83. So I got a nice stash of them. So we knocked the price down from $18 to $8. So, and it's a really nice companion to this one.
Yep.
The two from 71. And the last thing to close out, we're down to the very, very end. Hour of the shipwreck. The hour still is upon us. Put in the customer notes. Check it before you wreck it, and you'll get a copy as long as we still have them. But we're down to the bitter end here. So that's what we got. It's kind of a hodgepodge this week.
Good stuff there, though.
Yeah, yeah. Particularly the cheap stuff. There's some good cheap stuff.
Yeah. So Ken's going to send me the full list, and we will have that pinned in the comments at the top, so you can go and copy and paste, and make sure to go to www.lasercd.com. That's the URL, and happy shopping, right? And
Yeah,
keep
and
checking back often, because chances are something will come in over the weekend or on Monday, and that'll be up on the site before he even talks about it next week, right?
actually, yeah, I've got a big shipment in of vinyl from Orison Space Collective.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
we'll put those up next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
You just got all fuzzy. See, he talked
Like,
about what's
yeah,
on
why?
Space Collective, and he got fuzzy.
That is, yeah, that's weird. I don't know what's going on, but
Like
yeah,
you moved, and your camera was like, "Ooh," trying to follow. Very
that's odd. Yeah. But maybe that's really how I look.
Could be.
Oh, that's not good. Okay. It's not how I feel, but it's how I look. Yeah.
The
Maybe
effect
my
of Boris on Space Collective. See that? Everything got hazy. Just the mention of that band.
yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's weird. It's not coming back in focus. All
No.
right. Well,
Anyway,
that's where we are.
there we go. So go check out the link below, and happy shopping, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. What was that?
I don't
First.
know. But yeah.
Neighborhood Alert Winter Storm Watch. Oh, okay. There we go. Like it's the first time I ever heard it sound like that before on my phone. I'm like, okay. Yeah, we're supposed to get bad weather here this weekend. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, go check out the links below, and we'll see you next week here on the Professor's Picks. Tune in tomorrow for the review crew. Sunday, we've got ranking the album, so more stuff coming this weekend. Also, going to do a big review of the new Nosferatu film. We got members of the Monsters Den and Hudson Valley Square to get together to review that. So that's all coming this weekend. Till then, God, my phone's making all sorts of weird noises. Holy cow. Anyway, we'll see you. So see you back here next week on the Professor's Picks for Ken Golden. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah.